Greetings, one and all. How you all doing? Intro time.
You're entering a natural mystic zone. No penny them I never walk alone. Ancestors better them a natural mystic zone. Blessed enough to know I never walk alone. Stay rising.
I absolutely love that intro. I absolutely love it. Thank you to Naya Davis from Ashe Unfolding and December for the background vocals on that track. And I believe her cousin did the production in regards to the music. So I just love that intro. So why am I here? I've decided to do another live. Excuse me. It's quite early in the UK in the morning. I was meant to be here last night, but I had quite a busy week. I was quite tired. So I actually got some rest instead and thought, you know what, best do this in the morning. So I'm not sure if you've been aware of what's been happening, what's been out in the press, especially if you're someone who goes out a lot, which is something that I used to do. So ladies, how aware are you when you actually go out? Whether you're on your own, whether you're with a group of friends, or whether you're with going out with a man, like on a date? Or how aware are you when you go into a club, a rave, you know, a bar, a place where there are lots and lots of people, even a concert perhaps? In the UK, at the moment, there seems to be a problem. I'm not sure how deep it goes across the country, but it's something that I've also experienced myself when I was abroad in Amsterdam, I do believe, from a few years ago. So I'm going to have a little look at an article that I found. I think it's actually really, really useful to get the background information a little bit. And let's have a look and see what they're saying about what's been going on. So here we go. This is needle spiking is what it is that I'm seeing here. Yeah, needle spiking. So it says, needle spiking of women in Britain stirs alarm over a new kind of assault. Now, like I said, we're not sure how accurate this is. There is research and there is investigations going on, and there's a few videos and a few articles. I've decided to use this particular news supplement just purely due to the lack of adverts that are on here, and they seem to have a few videos as well, and things that are actually happening now. So the article goes as follows from the New York Times. Women are reporting being injected with syringes at crowded clubs in horrifying or dropping pills into drinks. Horrifying variations of dropping pills into drinks. This is a new depth, said former chief of police. Now, I do know that this was, I can't say I know, but I heard that this started up north of the country in the UK in a place called Nottingham. So just general pictures. So here we go. Nottingham, England. We've got here, Lizzie Wilson was standing in a crowded nightclub on Monday night where three friends said she felt a sharp pinch in her back. So this is on the 22nd of October, this was published, and it was updated on the 25th of October 2021 of this year. Said she'd heard about women being injected with syringes at crowded nightclubs and immediately feared she may be another victim. Her friends rushed her to hospital. She spent hours disorientated without sensation in her legs. So that's the first sort of incident or that I started to read about. I'm not going to read the whole article. Like I said, it's the New York Times. You can just Google it or do a search, use your search engine. And then it goes on to say that there's alarming reports. There's still a small number of women being injected with syringes at nightclubs. I'm not sure whether it's a small number, because if everybody was to kind of come together, the number may not be so small. But yes, I understand that it's a smaller percentage in relation to the number of women that actually go out. So what they wanted to do was actually do a boycott in nightclubs. And there are some female students at the University of Nottinghamshire, I do believe, that have come together, and they, like I said, are raising awareness. And like, I don't watch TV or the news, on television. I generally listen to radio a lot more. So I don't know if this information and if these stories are actually getting out to the younger population, to women day to day, to the mums at home, to girls at school and that sort of thing. Are these things being spoken about by teachers, for example, in order to raise awareness? Lecturers in seminars, universities, are they actually, again, not just educating, but are they also giving information in regards to the holistic well-being of children and young people, and not just thinking about their education? Education is a big package. When you talk about education, you have to educate in all areas, I believe, not just what's in a book, but also about life and what happens outside of your home or what happens outside of school. So it's just pictures of Nottingham that are going on here. So it says, worries about drinks being covertly laced with drugs have long been an issue. And then there's an article you can go back to in 2019 that the BBC did an investigation, and there was more than 2,500 cases of drinks being spiked in England and Wales since 2015. It then goes on. I'm going to show you a few of the videos that they've got here. Let's see what this young lady has to say, and there are a few others as well.
University experience, especially after COVID. But many young women said they haven't been going out so much because they are worried about having their drinks spiked or even being injected. Students told me they were really looking forward to having a semblance of a normal university experience, especially after COVID. But many young women said they haven't been going out so much because they are worried about having their drinks spiked or even being injected. Students told me they were really looking
pricking my back and had said to my mate, I think I've been injected. She rushed me out, and I lost the sensation of feeling in my legs, fell to the floor, holding myself up on a lamppost, trying to hold myself up. I felt really nauseous. My eyesight was all blurry, like really trying to focus on something and like not being able to. And the slur of my words, I couldn't get my words out or anything. It's about 5 minutes after I had felt the pinprick in my back and had said to my mate, I think I've been injected. And she rushed. Safer experience for everyone. Yeah, so lots of big cities like Nottingham, Leeds, Birmingham, they've all got Instagram accounts if you want to follow them. They're all places that are telling us to stay inside and not go to the clubs just in case, we have safety issues or security issues going to those sort of clubs. So it's cool.
So as you can see there's, like I said, there's a bit of a movement going on in regards to women and young girls and girls in general coming together, young women coming together and raising awareness, looking after each other. We have these sayings that I am my brother's keeper, which the brothers themselves are actually bringing into force amongst themselves. But I also believe that as women, we need to be our sister's protector as well. And that means women protecting women and men protecting women also. Just a little bit about myself. I'll just stop sharing that for a moment. And the reason why I'm bringing certain things to my YouTube channel, for example, why I'm bringing awareness to certain things. My last video that I did, I'll put a link down the bottom or somewhere. It will pop up in the screen. And you can have a look at that also, because it's just things that I'm realizing, wow, I went through some of this stuff. I maybe could say more to people and women from my perspective, as a person of colour, as a black woman, as someone with locks, as an older woman with all this experience, I can actually raise awareness. So myself, back in 2006, 2007, when I was in my 30s, let's just put it that way, yeah, and I was a proper raver. I was out, I knew all the latest dance moves. I was the Bogle Queen. I was the Willy Bounce. Trust me, summer bounce, the whole nine. Yeah, I was on the river, on the river. That's everything. There wasn't a party you could have kept me out of back then. Bars, nightclubs, all dayers, festivals, literally for a whole 18 months, nearly 2 years, 18 months. Every Wednesday I was out. Every Saturday I was out. And then I met somebody who lived quite away from me. So I lived in Hertfordshire and he lived in Berkshire, about an hour and something odd drive away. How did I meet him? In a random club in a place called Watford. Yeah. And we got along, and then we started kind of dating and talking, and then eventually we ended up in a relationship for a while. So I used to go and visit him because I had a really nice shift pattern. I used to work like 5 days on, 4 days off, 5 days here, 3 days here off. Do you know what I mean? So I'd be able to go and spend some time with him. And he used to like to travel. He was an avid traveller, you know, from Nigeria to the United States, to Holland, to the Netherlands, to the UK, to Spain, to Italy. He loved travelling. So I was very fortunate when he said, "Oh, let's go to Amsterdam." I'd been before, you know, many times before. But yeah, going with a boyfriend or partner who'd lived out there and then meeting their friends when you get to the other side, and the whole experience of actually staying in an apartment rather than a hotel, it made me feel as if I was actually like a proper citizen of Amsterdam. Like I would stay there for a few days, you know what I mean? People would go to work, yeah, man, jumping on the trams and the trains and getting my weekly ticket. Anywho, so one night and one weekend we decided we're going to take a quick trip, and we hop on a plane, couple of hours, and before you know it, we're in Amsterdam, and it's a friend's birthday, and we're about to go out later on that evening. So we're getting ready. It's a black and white affair, so we're all matching. It's all looking good and everything, yeah? So we get to this party. It's nice to go up this spiral staircase because we've got like the R&B and the reggae rooms upstairs, and then downstairs it was a little bit more sort of I suppose pop, kind of more popular culture music. So anyway, we went upstairs, you know, drinks are flowing, everything's nice, music's pumping, you know, I mean, half the stuff that's being said, trust me, I have no clue what people are talking about. Yeah, because they're all speaking Dutch. But obviously some of the friends that we were with also spoke English, so I wasn't entirely left out in the cold. But yeah, there were points where they would get really excited and just start, and I'm like, what's going on? But it was just a great night. So I'm there bubbling away, and my drink at the time was Bacardi and Coke, or like white rum, should we say, and Coke of some sort. No ice, you know what I mean? Occasionally no chaser, but mainly to kind of pace myself, we add a little bit of the old Coca-Cola in there. And I was bubbling, and someone had like refilled my drink, so it was still quite full. And while I was dancing, it started to spill. So what I did, stupidly, is that I put it on a little coaster tray stand that was behind me. So there was a pillar, and around the pillar was this like shelf with an edge, so your drinks couldn't fall off. So I rested my drink in there and turned around and continued dancing with my friends in my group, you know, dancing around your handbag as you do, woo-hooing it up in the air and all of this, yeah? All for a matter of maybe 30 seconds. But I say 30 seconds, it was probably more like 2 minutes if I was dancing to a song, yeah? And then, again, stupidly took my eyes off my drink. So then I decided to then turn around, pick up said drink and started drinking it. The person, or was one of the guys that I was with, he went, no, stop. But I'd already started to drink some. So he said, no, don't do that. He goes, did you put your drink down? I said, yes, I did. He goes, no, don't drink it. Have a fresh one. Obviously, we've got drinks on our table. It's not a matter of our waste or whatnot. It didn't matter. Throw it away for my safety, all right? So I put the drink to one side. Went to the table, got a fresh glass, wiped, poured myself a fresh drink, and continued with my evening. So about an hour later or so, we're all getting ready to go home. But I'm feeling extremely woozy. And I'm using the word woozy, not tipsy, not drunk, woozy. Because I practice drinking, all right? I'm not condoning excessive alcohol drinking, but I was young, I was in my 30s, you know what I mean? I had practice. I knew my levels, should we say, yeah? I come from a West Indian family. It's something where we've always drank Guinness and malts and, you know, snowballs and baby shams as a child. So I feel like my tolerance levels were fairly good. I know myself, yeah? My family has allowed me to explore what it feels like drinking alcohol. So I know what it feels like when I'm out, and then I know how to handle myself. Okay, so we go, getting ready to go, and like I said, I'm feeling really woozy, and I barely make it back down this spiral staircase. Anyway, the guy that I'm seeing, he's sitting outside sobering up in the fresh air, and I'm completely all over the gaff. So I go and I sit next to him, and I'm trying to like just get some fresh air and liven up myself and stop feeling as groggy as I felt, because I've never felt like this drinking alcohol before. So I'm trying to smoke a cigarette. I can't light it. I'm lighting the wrong end. It's like, it's just an absolute mess. We eventually get back to the car. This bit I can't remember, I must admit. I can't remember. I was filled in, basically. So we eventually get back to the car, and I'm really, really hot. And I'm like, oh, I need to get my clothes off. I need to get my clothes off. And they're like, no, we're nearly home. We're nearly home. Just chill. Anyhow, the person in the front, my boyfriend at the time, he needed to be sick and use the toilet. So we stopped. He jumped out. I was sitting in the back of the car, but I wanted to get out also. And because we're in Netherlands, in Holland, in Amsterdam, and it's like -3 because it's winter, I decided that I told everybody that I want to go for a swim in the canal. I didn't actually jump in. Fortunately, they stopped me. They wouldn't let me get out of the car. We got back to the apartment where we were staying. I went to sleep. And while I was sleeping, it just was like, it was like a coma. It felt like I literally just passed out. At some point, I had been sick during my sleep. And when I woke up, it wasn't particularly pleasant. So I had to go and sort that out. But there was this point where I could hear the TV in another room in the background. And because I wasn't in England, but I'd forgotten that. So when I woke up, I just heard this random language and panicked. Like, I've never sat up before in my life and gone, what country am I in? Where am I? Have I been kidnapped? I hadn't, obviously. I was just in Amsterdam. So the point that I'm trying to make is that I lost 6 hours of my memory. And if it wasn't for the people that I was with, looking after me, making sure that I was okay, that were trustworthy to get me back to where it was that we were staying safely, get me into bed, look after me, you know, give me water and all that sort of stuff, keep an eye on me while I'm sleeping, making sure that I'm still alive. Yeah, I don't know what would have happened. So looking back, you know, after many years of thinking about that scenario, of having people that you know, fill in the blanks of the stuff that I couldn't remember, I have to put it down to the point that at some point I put my drink down and took my eyes off of it. And then as time goes on, you kind of remember this person that wasn't in your crew or in your party, but he was hovering near us. And couldn't describe him, just know that he was in dark clothing. Mind you, the place was dark, so he could have been wearing anything. But why was he hovering so close to me, so close to the drinks, that sort of thing, yeah? And that's why I've pretty much made this recording and then spoken about the article, like I said, that's from the New York Times, about this spate of potential spiking. Now, these ladies think that they have been spiked with needles. I'm not saying that there isn't needles happening, or, you know, like I said, people being pricked with things. There was a time a few years ago that people were injecting, it sounds quite horrible, but blood, infected blood into other people as well. So I'm just like really want to like raise the awareness here. So I please encourage you to watch this video, to share this video where possible, to speak to young people about the content also that I've been speaking about. You may not want to actually play them this particular video, it might be a bit too graphic, but you may be able to simplify, you know, the language that it is that I've used and make it a bit more child friendly. And just make sure that when you're out in large numbers that you are kind of aware. I know that we went through this whole social distancing thing, but when you're out and about, you're so pleased to see other people and just be in the the proximity and in the presence of other people. You kind of forget about your safety to a certain extent, you know, and that's just in any environment like it is that I'm saying. So just reconsider where you go, who you go out with, and sort of the space and who, you know, where you are really is all it is that I want to say. So with all that being said, thank you so much for those of you who tuned in. Thank you so much who like, comment and subscribe. And like I said, I love my outro, intro so much. Thank you, Naya. I'm going to play it again. So wait and tune in for another video. It will be proposed from a female perspective. Obviously, I'm a female, but I will be raising awareness in regards to my life experiences, things that I've been about, and things that are happening currently in the topics and current affairs. So much love, people. It's been a pleasure as always. I am Natural Mystic. I am bouncing back, and I hope you all are too. Sending love, blessings, prosperity, guidance in abundance always. Mwah. Take care.
You're entering a natural mystic zone. No penny them I never walk alone. Ancestors better them a natural mystic zone. Blessed enough to know